Hi everyone, it's Lauren here. Thank you so much for participating in our clay kit to make an ornament. Now in your box, you should have received a circle ornament with a hole in it with a red underglaze and a toothpick. And that's all you're gonna need for this project. If you wanna gather some other supplies from around your house, you could use a dull colored pencil, a dull pencil, or a ballpoint pen. Actually, dull color pencils are my favorite utensil to use for carving for this project. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna be doing a process called Sgraffito, which is just really a fancy term for carving into clay. Now, what we're gonna be doing with our projects is carving into the red. So when we just carve very gently, you don't have to go deep. It'll expose the color clay that the clay is underneath. And that's all we want to do is just scratch away just enough so that we can see the clay underneath. And that process is called Sgraffito. Now, when you do this, like I said, you can use your toothpick, you could use a dull colored pencil or a ballpoint pen. Like I said, I really like using a pencil because this is an object I'm already used to holding and writing with, so it feels really natural to carve or write with it. And again, I'm only just going a little bit. I'm not going super deep. I just want to expose that clay underneath because when these are fired later, I'll be collecting them back and firing them. When they get fired, this red is going to be a really, really bright cherry red, kind of like my shirt. And then it's going to be a white color for the clay. So it's going to be a really nice contrast. And then I'll be putting a clear glaze on top of that. So there'll be a really nice keepsake for you to keep or to give to somebody, which is really special. Now, I want to show you kind of what it looks like when you carve away at your piece. So I'm going to take this one that I've started and I'm going to use my color pencil. And really all I'm doing is kind of drawing onto the clay, just enough to take away that red layer. So if I was going to draw on here, make sure you can see, I'm just taking my pencil. And as you can see, it's kind of pulling away that red. And you can see kind of some little crumbs. Don't worry about the crumbs because as your piece dries, those we can brush away really easily. Or you can gently do it with your finger if you want. So you can see how simple that was, just to kind of press into the clay to carve, right? Another really, really important part is writing your name or initials on the back. One, it's great to sign your clay, and two, it's really good to keep track of what's yours. I'm gonna write my name. Awesome. Another thing you can play with these is line variation. So right now, everything I've drawn on here has just been the thickness of the tip of my pencil. But if you want to play with line variation and make some of your lines thicker and thinner, it'll make it a lot more visually appealing. Plus, the more you carve away, the more of that white you're going to see underneath. So you might decide, or I might decide, I want to carve out where I did this plant like piece, right? So I can see more white inside. Maybe I want to make my lines of my word thicker. Now for this, you could easily do a name, which is kind of a great way to memorialize this year with somebody's name or something like that. But you could also draw a scene, a picture. You can kind of do whatever you want. Here are a couple other examples I already finished. So this one says 2020, just to remember this year. And you can see the little lines that I used. And this one has a great example of line variation. I made my numbers thicker than what these lines were, so it'll show up a little bit better when it's fired. Here's another one I did too, right? So a name, and then I did all this decoration around the side. And again, I always remember to write my name or initials in the back. So thank you so much for participating in this. I will be collecting these once your date comes up that you need to bring them back to your library, and then I'll be getting them back to you very shortly. So thank you so much for participating. Have a great day. Bye.